Hey, my name is Louw Barnardt. I'm one of the founders of Outsource CFO. In 2022, I won the lead category of SICA's Top 35 Under 35. It's been quite a journey with the Top 35 competition over the last couple of years. It's been a privilege to be part of such an incredible cohort of young people that are trying to make a difference in South Africa. Yeah, I come from Kimberley. I was born and raised in Kimberley in the middle of South Africa. Since about the age of 6, I always knew that I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I thought that a chartered accountancy background would be the right way to go in terms of a foundation of business principles that you can use in creating companies at the end of the day. And just kind of grew up with investments and business and finance in the household. And then I set off to Stellenbosch to study there, to get out of Kimberley for a little bit. Met my wife there, met my co-founders there, met most of my best friends there. At that time, it landed for us at a startup grind event where there were 70 entrepreneurs who came to listen to an interview with a successful entrepreneur. And everybody there were building something. They were engineers, they were designers, they were software developers, they were salespeople, whatever. They were building some kind of a business, and there were no accounting or finance people in the room. And we said someone has to take up the role of finance professional to help these young companies navigate all the complexity of finance. And that's how Outsource CFO started. So I want you to think about the most challenging thing that an entrepreneur can face when it comes to their finances. So maybe that's dealing with cash flow on a day-to-day basis. Maybe it's getting a set of financial statements out. Maybe it's dealing with a tax man, or maybe it's raising that next round of finance. Whatever the most challenging thing is, imagine how that entrepreneur feels when they go through the journey of struggling with that thing. And now imagine this, if they could have a go-to finance person that could just roll up their sleeves and jump in and help them solve that problem. That is Outsource CFO. My work and my company isn't my identity. And that's quite a useful tool to just have that. And for me, it's always been training. Like, training is my foundational habit. I used to love doing a bit of strength training and a bit of running. They don't work super well paired together. The one makes you a bit stronger, the other one makes you a bit leaner, so they don't work well. About 8 years ago, I found CrossFit and I've really loved it, like recreationally. To just do CrossFit, the challenge of the strength work, plus the fitness, plus the bit of gymnastics. The cool weightlifting maneuvers and stuff. I'm really passionate about it. I love doing a couple of sessions in a week. I've structured my weekdays that I can get 4 to 5 workouts into every single week. Some of them are in lunchtime, specifically to take those 2 hours out of work on a Monday, 12 till 2. I'm not available because I'm going to go to the box. I'm going to go do my workout. It's so good for stress relief. It's so good for mindset, and it is just that one thing that's constant, even if work has a terrible week. Whatever that is for you, it might not be training, but to find that foundational habit and to build your habit stack on top of that, I think is quite important. You have to be fiercely passionate about what you're doing and what you're solving for, because it is hard. It is really, really difficult to do the work consistently, to go through the ups and downs of building a company. There will be some successes, but originally you will have 100 failures to get to one micro success. The next time you might have 95 micro failures, and then you'll have another success. And if you keep doing that, eventually you start getting almost as many wins as you have losses, because you start figuring out how to do what you need to do. But there's so much complexity, it takes so much longer, it's so much harder than I think one could ever imagine starting out. So I think if you're fiercely passionate about it, and then you can do it. You must be willing to burn your bridges, and then find people who are willing to do the same. So the first task of an entrepreneur is to then just convince other people that this mission is worth going for. Because doing it alone, no one's ever built a significant company going it alone. So you have to build a team. You originally find a co-founder or a team of co-founders, and then a team of people who will help you work towards that. But then make sure that you find those people who are as crazy as you and want to do this thing, because it's going to be tough as nails. So being part of the SICA Top 35 over the years has been a huge blessing in my journey. I got to be part of the cohort in 2015 and 2016 when we were quite small as a business still. And then again last year when we kind of like, I thought I'll apply the year before I turned 35 for one last time to just be able to, on this amazing platform, just showcase what we've built as Outsource CFO. And it's been really great for us from, I think, an exposure perspective to the CA community, to all the tens of thousands of chartered accountants all around the world who really follow SICA and the top 35 competition and the journey. It's so great when you want to hire someone of that caliber and they say, hey, we've been following your company story for years. That's so great. When we meet the CFO in the market who's looking for finance resources in his team and he's a chartered accountant and he says, hey, we've been following Outsource CFO's story for years, that is instrumental. And then I think alongside the exposure, the network, just meeting the finalists year after year. If you're in the cohort, you generally you get invited back maybe 1 or 2 years after that. So you get to meet a few of those cohorts. And I think, so there will be 350 young CAs who are really game changers in corporate, in government, in entrepreneurship, in universities, etc. And having just direct access, you can message any one of these guys and just the door is open. So that's been hugely valuable. I've made some great friends, like Abed and I have been friends for years, since the very first Top 35. So you make friends, you get to meet like-minded people. You know, we have clients in those cohorts, we have friends in there, we have suppliers in there, etc. So you really build a good network around it. It's very precious.